Welcome to TheoTrade. Don Kaufman here, April 15th, 2026. Just about 20 minutes to go to the cash close here on this Wednesday afternoon, hitting all-time highs. I'm just going to say it right off the bat. Look, I am a bear living in a bullish world, but I am going to show you a little bit of an ironic twist because, well, I have a lot of bearish trades on right now, and they're not fair and half bad from a sector perspective. Look, I know we're hitting all-time highs, right? But I got to tell you, I can find a bearish tilt to any marketplace. Let's actually start in some of the sectors tonight because, as I said a moment ago, like I've got trades on right now that are performing relatively well. And again, yes, they are bearish trades. And when I start looking at this from a sector perspective, or, you can look at the advanced decline line. The advanced decline line in this is a pure 50-50. It's kind of ironic, though, when you start looking around at sectors. Obviously, this is the S&P and cracking to new highs. What sectors? Like, what really matters here? I mean, yeah, we could pull up, like, regional banks. And regional, that's not too exciting. They're massively unchanged. And we could start to pull up the materials. Materials are down on the week. We could pull up healthcare. Now we're getting a little bit more interesting. Healthcare is almost unchanged in the week. Ironically, we could pull up SMH, okay, which, okay, this is the semiconductors. They're at the upper edge of their expected move, but they're dramatically underperforming the overall marketplace. Then we actually bring up XLU, which of course the utilities. It's at the lower edge of the expected move, and that's actually one of the trades I happen to have on in the XLU. You can see my in-out spread starting to perform. Then we come to the XLI, the industrials. Okay, I mean, again, people, these were performers. Industrials are actually down slightly. Now the XLY, this is consumer discretionary. But I'll be honest with you, this one's owned by Tesla and Amazon, so that is null and void. And then, of course, we come to the home builders. Home builders are getting absolutely demolished in today's trading session, down fairly big. XLP, this is actually consumer staples, lower edge of the expected move. And again, that's just to get started. And I wanted to hit this right off the bat because, as I said, I'm just a bear living in a bullish world, and everybody's cheering on markets basically hitting all-time highs. And then, you could look at the financials. Hey, look, I'll give it to the financials. They've outperformed well beyond what I would have anticipated. Some of their earnings have come out, and JP Morgan, well, Jamie Dimon didn't have anything positive to say. And then we also have, of course, like this, private credit crisis. But it's all going to be okay. Why? Because it's all tech all the time. I mean, look, this rally, what does it really amount to? Okay, evidently it's not the energy sector which is getting killed. The rally is, well, it's all tech all the time. I mean, take a look, okay, no further than Amazon, the break here, okay? Amazon, I don't know, 2 weeks ago was down almost 12% year-to-date basis, now up almost 10% year-to-date basis, right? And when I say like 2 weeks, I mean like 2 weeks. Okay, it's a spectacular move to the upside. And if you're looking at this and you're trying to contemplate how could Amazon have done this, it has a lot to do with Anthropic, which they own a portion of, right? So Anthropic is actually going through another round of funding right now. They're looking like $800 billion of valuation. And yeah, Amazon owns a big chunk of that. Then we actually have Microsoft, okay, leading the charge. Nobody wanted to touch this 2 weeks ago. I changed my mind. Nobody wanted to touch this 3 days ago, and all of a sudden it's the hottest thing. Meanwhile, on a year-to-date basis, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Well, Microsoft is still down almost 13% year-to-date. We can look at Apple. Apple, which no one has wanted to touch this year, still down about 2%. This didn't feel the sell-side activity, but it also hasn't been very bullish lately. And of course, Tesla, specifically today. Tesla, okay, coming from like some really hideous lows, down again almost 22%. Okay, this is a massive rally. I mean, look, the market today expressly belongs to Tesla. And by the way, for those of you in Zero DTE, if you're in the chat room every single day with us here at TheoTrade, you would have seen me actually trade the Tesla spread this morning. We got in, we got out, knocked out well over 100% in about 35 minutes inside of the Tesla trade. But look, as I said a moment ago, it's all tech all the time. And, again, I don't want to discount some of the impact that the financials have had, okay? But with all due respect, the sector is still down on a year-to-date basis. And that's a little bit of perspective is, yes, I can see that the S&Ps, okay, are at all-time highs, but that also imparts upon you that the all-time highs were basically, okay, year-to-date highs, and that's where we are right now, up 2.4% year-to-date. It's not exactly a stellar performance, but it is an amazing rally back in the marketplace. What you want to see though in the days to come, and what you're going to have to see in days to come, if you're sitting there and you're contemplating, can the rally continue? Yeah, but you have to have play from the other sectors, and that's exactly what I wanted to point out. And as I said, I feel like right now I'm not like outright bearish on the S&Ps, and I haven't been outright bearish on the S&Ps, but I am very, very sector specific. And as I said, like I have positions right now in XLU, and I've got positions in volatility, short positions in volatility that are doing phenomenally, right? I've short position in the XLE, short position in XLU. I have a short position in the financials. That's not necessarily getting killed right now, but hey, it is what it is. I'm staying away to a larger degree from tech, because when things don't make a lot of sense to you, okay, it's hands off at that point, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Because when tech gets heated, well, that's it. And again, I think that this has a lot to do with some of the valuations, once again, of AI, right? And all the problems you feel like got swept under the rug. Nobody's even talking about geopolitical risk. Nevertheless, okay, oil still hasn't completely abated at 91. Okay, at 91, you still have to have nerves on oil. I mean, this is geopolitically sensitive still at this point. Nevertheless, you wouldn't know it looking at the VIX. And the VIX, I think that the VIX has probably found somewhat of a floor, okay, between 17.5, 18.5, meaning that I don't think the VIX necessarily subsides any further. And if you're looking for a hedge right now, the VIX trade is the place to do it because the skew is absolutely huge. And that would impart, and again, when I'm talking about like looking for a hedge, just to impart this upon you, you come out here and, well, I'm going to have to open up a whole lot of strikes for this one. The skew in the implied volatility inside of the VIX is absolutely massive. So to hedge off some tail risk, you like buy a 25, maybe sell a 35. Look at this. You're getting $10, okay, of hedge for 65 cents right now. Now, granted, in the next, 33 days, all hell would have to break loose. But that's what a hedge is about, okay? And it's a cheap, hedge at this point relative to some of the tail risk that's probably still out there in this marketplace. So, again, right now it's, it's all bull and no bear, which makes Don a very unhappy boy. But at the same time, the bullish nature, okay, off this bottom over here, it really is predominantly, one sector, and that's tech. And it's weird because tech now is broken down into semiconductors and communication. And look, the bottom line, okay, what used to be called the Magnificent Seven or Eight, whatever the hell you kids are calling it these days, that's where it's at right now. I mean, Broadcom, look at this thing, okay, an absolutely stupendous move from the stock being down 16%, now up, okay, somewhat 13% year-to-date basis. I mean, these are stellar moves. The problem is, though, as I said a moment ago, okay, those moves, it's not plausible for them to continue. So you have to see the other sectors play into this, or we start to, get crushed back a little bit. I'm not hugely bearish in the S&Ps, though, here. Speaking of the S&Ps, I always like to look, of course, at the SPX, the mother, okay, of all indicators here. And when I bring up the SPX, I always look at the expected move in the week, and we're about 117, okay? So the expected move this week is sitting at about 117. What that means is, we were looking for a move up here or down here. And that's, basically 117 points. What do we got right now? A substantial breach of, okay, that expected move. Now, normally you're like, oh, whatever, man, it's Wednesday. Like, there's plenty of time. Now, what's interesting about this one is you would have 1, 2, this is now the third week in a row. Third week in a row. Now, remember, okay, 3 weeks ago, I was making comments about how efficient the S&Ps were on a year-to-date basis. We only had one small breach of expected move and basically, 11 weeks of absolutely nothing. And here we are now, okay? And the irony of that, here we are 1, 2, 3 breaches of expected move. Look, it is what it is. Like volatility, okay, comes to the upside. The volatility itself is crushing back down. But I'm telling you, okay, it's just tech at this point. And of course, somebody's going to point out, like, no. I mean, like what? You got like Caterpillar that was participating until today. Yeah, but these do not have the market capitalization, okay, to sustain anything. In terms of big market cap and what matters, it's all tech right now. And as I said, I'm just a bear living in a bullish world, but you don't have to look that far. You can look down at the sector ETFs and look at them and say, holy crap, he's making an excellent point right now. To sustain this rally, okay, you need play in other sectors. It's got to come, and it's got to come this week to sustain these kinds of moves. If we are going to pull back, okay, looking at the SPX, specifically 69.36 into Thursday and Friday. If we are going to see a pullback, we're going to pull back basically to the upper, not the lower, but the upper edge of the SPX expected move. Thanks everybody for joining us here at TheoTrade. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.